Guys, I'll be taking you guys on a trade breakdown. This was a gold USD trade. It was taken on the 5 minute time frame, but actually the trade was a loss. So the most important thing in such a situation is not to be worried about the loss, but simply to ask yourself, did you trade according to your plan? Did you trade according to your system? And what makes me feel so happy about the situation is the trade was taken based off my plan and based on my system. So, and based on my system, gold is part of the pairs which I do trade. So I'm okay with that. So first of all, let me go again into the charts. But before that, I would like to show you guys a diagrammatic representation of my setup because this was a sell trade which came into a loss. So I'll go into my sell setup. Coming into the diagrammatic representation of my sell setup, this is simple. Once price is moving up, once price is moving up in once price start moving up and creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, we're expecting that if price reaches a supply zone formed on a higher time frame, it must have also swept liquidity. Yeah. And once it reaches a supply zone on a higher time frame, we are expecting a reaction that will push price down to break structure to take the previous structure which was formed and form a new structure directly below the previous structure, forming a lower low. And when we see price breaking through a previous structure to form another structure lower than it, it's giving it's telling us there's a possibility of price to start selling downwards. So what do? We sit and wait for charts for price to consolidate or for price to form a liquidity which has to be taken out and to mitigate another supply zone which was created based on this move which broke structure down. Once we are able to spot our supply zone on a lower time frame, we take our entry and our take profit is to target the earliest point of liquidity which might be here or here. It's very simple as that. So now we get into the chart and the same representation is what I applied. Consistency is the key to success. That is, consistency in this situation means each time you want to enter a trade, for example, a sell trade, make sure you enter a sell trade based on this system. And since this is my own system of trading, I make sure I always enter a trade based on only this system. So let's get into the chart. Now, looking at the gold chart, we start my analysis. I start the analysis on the 4-hour time frame. If we look on the 4-hour time frame, price was pushing up, creating higher high, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. It created a higher high. We're expecting to create a higher low to continue to go up. But what happened? Price came down, swept this previous high to create another lower high, which went down to create this massive lower high. This was the highest point, and it created this low here. So it means is telling us structure has been broken to the downside. That's why you guys sit down, telling me there's a potential price to continue to selling down. As price created this lower low, we call this a lower low because the value here of this low is far much lower than the value of this low. So that's a lower low. This lower low created a lower high. This is a lower high because the value here is lower than this previous high. This lower low created this lower high. This lower high though it consolidated by the end, the price was pushed to the downside, which broke another structure, which broke this previous low to create another lower low. The value here is lower than this, so it's a lower low. So based on what is happening, what do we see? We're expecting that as price is retracing upwards, it should be able to get mitigated here, and price should be able to be pushed down to create another lower low. But in my idea of trading, I do not want to enter this trade to target high down here because one, we have a 4-hour demand zone. Remember, there's a high probability that price might provide a reaction within a demand or a supply zone, and maybe the reaction might take price, maybe price might react here, might come down and react here and go up because we never know. So this is the first reason why I wanted to take profit at this level. The second reason was simply because the Asian low liquidity was there. And remember, guys, in my trading concept, once price always do its best to take out the Asian high and Asian low liquidity. You understand, guys? So based on my idea, based on the idea which I have on the 4 hour time frame, which is on the 4 hour time frame, I'm looking for the opportunity to sell the market downward to follow this downward movement. I have to scale down to lower time frame, and in scaling down to lower time frame, I had to go up to the 50-minute time frame where I started seeing some market structure. In trying to see market structure, market was creating a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So this is the idea. As you guys can see, this price came up, swept this 18 high liquidity. That's why you guys see the annotation liquidity sweep. Price swept this 18 high liquidity. So in my buyers, I'm expecting that since the 18 high liquidity has been taken out, the Asian low liquidity might be taken out. If I go a step below, you guys will see that the Asian high and Asian low liquidity are always taken out. This Asian high and Asian low liquidity has always taken out. It was not like taken out yet, but it got taken out yet. So at the end of the day, based on the concept, I'm expecting that since the Asian high liquidity has been taken out, let the Asian low liquidity also be taken out, guys. So scaling more down, that was my concept. I had to go now to the 15-minute time frame. And being in the 15-minute time frame, it permits me to be able to see enough structure. So as price created liquidity, creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. What happened? Price came in here, swept this Asian high liquidity and tapped into this 1 hour supply zone. And from this 1 hour supply zone, to show there's a reaction, we saw a massive sell off to the downside. Yeah, providing us with a change of structure, telling us price now is changing structure to the downside, telling us there's a probability that price might sell because the previous low, which was created by the high, got broken down. So this is opportunity which was telling us, okay, guys, there's a possibility that the market might sell. And since there's a possibility that the market might sell, what do? I try to spot where the market might sell up to. And since we have the Asian low liquidity sitting here around that demand zone also, my probability, my idea was I should be able to enter my trade on the next available supply zone formed on the lower time frame, which was the 5 minute supply zone. So based on that, that was the reason why I decided to enter the trade. And in entering the trade, guys, I was targeting this Asian low liquidity. Unfortunately, price came back up and hit my stop loss. But the most important thing you guys should learn from this trade is I did follow my trading system. I I analyzed the market from the 4 hour time frame. I scaled down to the lower time frame. Why why I kept on analyzing the market and being patient and waiting for the setup to form. And once I was able to see the setup, I traded according to my setup. That's the most important thing, guys. We trade according to our setup. Remember, there's no trading system on this earth which will give you a 100% win rate. People might have a trading system that gives them 80%, 70%, 90%, maybe 50%, 30%. So we are always bound to make losses. But the most thing is it's preferable to take a loss trading based on your system. Because if you're able to take a loss, when you take a loss based on your system, your psychological will not be damaged. But if you trade against your system and you take a loss, you start blaming yourself for not respecting your system. So that's all for the video, guys. Stay tuned to my channel. I pray and hope you guys will be able to learn from the concepts I always teach and review on my trade recaps. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thanks. Stay safe and stay blessed.